No. Nikola, how do you guys just kind of wash a game like this away when, just kind of nothing goes right for you and everything goes right for them?
I think we shouldn't. I think we need to sink in. Like, it's a great loss. They beat us, they destroy us, and we should learn it. And you need to give them respect. They came out and actually we had like 9-2 score, right? Fun. Didn't look good for them in that period, But since then, it was a one-team show. So I'm gonna take this as a great loss.
Well, and Nikola, to that end, I guess I saw online, because I wasn't paying that close attention, did you stand the entire fourth quarter, and what was sort of the thought behind that?
Just to be warm so I can lift after.
This is a native language, Nikola. Prvo čestitam za uručenje MVP nagrade na prošloj utakmici uz fenomenalno, možda da li to bilo tvojih najboljih utakmica ikada, a evo da kažem kako si doživio ovu i nekad mi se čini da su bile oscilacije, nekad kad smo se bojali da ćete izgubiti, vi ste pobedili, kad smo mislili da sigurno ćete pobediti, niste pobedili.
Pa da, sigurno ova serija je jedna interesantna. Pre početka sam rekao da će biti interesantna, gde bukvalno svaka ekipa može da iznenadi da li na domaćem, da li na gostujućem terenu, tako da i sedma utakmica može da ode na jednu i na drugu stranu. Današnja utakmica je bila, mi se nismo pojavili, jednostavno bili su u svakom segmentu bolji od nas, nismo pogađali, nismo kreirali otvorene šuteve, dali smo 60-70 poena, njihova odbrana je bila fantastična, tako da mislim, brojke govore same za sebe, tako da nemamo mi tu šta da dodamo.
Nikola, talking to people around the team, they say the only difference they ever noticed from you in the playoffs is maybe a little more focus. I guess, do you do anything special to make sure you're mentally as sharp as you can be?
No, I prepare for the game like every other game. I think I know all their calls, all their plays. For me, it's just another game.
And were you always able to treat every game the same, or is that something that from childhood on?
Maybe not from childhood, but since I came in the league and I'm gonna say my fourth, fifth year, when I had my minutes and I know what I'm gonna do, and then I know my place first, and then start learning about their other teams' plays, actions.
Nikola, you have experience winning Game 7s, playing in Game 7s. What are you expecting in terms of atmosphere, and how do you win in those situations?
I mean, it can go one way or another. I think that's why this series is interesting, because every team can win and lose, and depends how the game's gonna open up. When you think about it, basically the only kind of interesting game was Game 1 when we lost, when it was kind of close. Game 2 they blow us out. The Game 4 we blow them out. Game 5 they blow us. So basically, hopefully we're gonna blow them up in Saturday, Sunday. So it's gonna be interesting, I think.
Nikola, was there anything different about the way they doubled you tonight compared to the rest of the series?
Yes, they didn't double me last couple games, so they doubled me today. But I think we created good shots most of the time, so we just didn't knock them down.
Nikola, možda nepotrebno pitanje, ali da li će možda sve biti na tome koliko igrači žele pobjede? Ti s njim pričaš tako koliko žele, da li isto kao prošle godine ili?
Pa mislim da je ekipa želi sigurno, mislim, ko želi da izgubi normalno, ali želja jedno, sigurno moraš da budeš na neki način fokusiran i da znaš što radiš na terenu, ali ako hoćeš da pobediš, sigurno želja je na prvom mestu.
Nikola, you mentioned the good looks, and Coach talked about it, but he said maybe sometimes you were settling and there wasn't enough rebounding help or rebounders. So how much of it is that those are good shots, they just didn't go in? And
I mean, yes, it's not like we had tons of good shots. They're amazing. They're a really good defensive team. They're number one defense in the NBA for sure, for a reason. And but we show ourselves that we can create good ones, and we can beat that team. So, there is a good quote in Serbian, but I don't know how to translate about the shot. I'm gonna try to remember for next this session.
Nikola, you said this was a great loss. Can you just elaborate on what that means? Like, what do you mean by it being a great loss?
It's a great, they beat our ass. They were better than us in every segment of the game, and we need to accept it. Take it, and just try to be better next time. When you lose by 45, it's not like something happens every day. So just accept it. I'm cool with it.
Thanks, Joe.
Hey, pleasure to call you guys.
Jamal, when they made that 27-2 run in the first quarter, it seemed like you guys were fueling their break a little bit with some of the turnovers, but also just missing shots. How much do you kind of attribute to you guys not executing your offense at the standard you needed to versus sort of just missing stuff that you feel like you can make in Game 7?
Yeah, I mean, we know we're going to miss some big shots. I felt like we generated, especially in the first half, we generated some really good looks, me, even myself, but I think it's just both ends. I think, from experience, Game 6, it's always the hardest. Everybody that team is gearing up to not get eliminated, and they bring that right energy, and they came to play today. So, just like how they punked us in Game 2, we punked them Game 3 and 4. They punked us again in Game 6. So now all that's behind us, and it's just come down to one game.
Jamal, can you pinpoint, where this kind of went off the rails for you guys? I mean, I know you guys started 9-2 and then you gave up a run immediately there. But was there a certain point where it went off the rails, or, was it just one of those games for you guys?
I'm not really sure. I'll have to go back and rewatch it, man. But I think it was 9-2 for us to start the quarter. We came out right, and then they fired back, and we never responded. So I would say there probably in the first quarter. Even though we knew that we could cut the lead, we didn't do anything about it or change anything. And not game plan wise, but energy and discipline wise, we didn't change anything to shift the momentum in our favor.
How difficult did Anthony Edwards make it for you when he was checking you?
I mean, who? For me?
Yeah.
For me?
Yeah, for you.
I mean, it was more about my elbow at that point. Every time, even some passes, my arm. But it was more offensively for him. It wasn't him guarding me. He was scoring at the other end, and scoring at a great rate. And then on top of that, Mike Conley, McDaniels had a great game. I think everybody on their team kind of just brought their game today, and we weren't able to defend them and keep them out of pain or get them off the line. So yeah, we just got to be better. We got to be better.
Jamal, you mentioned your elbow. That happened pretty early, first, second play of the game. So how, challenging was that? And then you had it iced at the end of the game. And so what's your concern level going into Sunday?
I'm just, we got 2 days off, and, it's all behind us now. I just got to get ready and be able to be better for Sunday. Yeah, we just got to be better for Sunday, man.
Jamal, you're the defending champs. You were never pushed to the brink last year. What is your kind of thoughts on a Game 7 you've seen to relish in those kind of moments as you think about it now?
I mean, that's why we fought for home court. We were down 0-2 in the series, and we won 3 games straight. We knew that they're going to respond eventually, and they did tonight. And we didn't hit back. We didn't do anything about it. It's kind of simple as that. So, it's nice that we'll get to regroup, and at least we've given ourselves a chance to win the game on Sunday. So, we'll use the home court advantage to our advantage, and try to keep this thing going.
Jamal, it seems that blowouts don't really carry over and mean anything in the next game. So what's the level of confidence this team has that at Game 7 you'll be able to approach that with a fresh new vision?
I think they carry over even more. I think, when you get beat like we did in Game 2, we carried that over and responded in the right way. And then when we beat them, they responded, and they responded in a big way. So I think it's all about the mindset. Now all that's behind us. All those games that we're talking about is all behind us, and now it's just Sunday. Who wins those 48 minutes, and how we're going to do that.
Jamal, what do you want to see your team do when you guys aren't making shots? Like, what do you need to get
Gotta
to?
defend. You just gotta be more physical. Own our spots. Early help. Rotating, communicating. I think that's the biggest thing. Every game during the season, you're gonna struggle offensively. But can you stop the other team from scoring when you're doing so? So I think that's our biggest challenge, man. Is just getting stops and runouts and just playing at our pace that we want to play at. So. Like I said, they had it today. I want to take no credit from Minnesota. They came to play. They brought that energy, and they used the home crowd to their advantage. They all shot. Felt like they all shot well. So, like I said, all that's behind us. Just gotta get ready for Sunday.
Jamal, real quick, with that play with the elbow, was that you like hitting the screen, or was it a landing?
It was a screen.
Okay. And did it feel better throughout the course of the game, at least, or was it pretty much there?
Clearly not.
Yeah.
I put some numbing cream on it just so I didn't have to feel it every time I extended. Sure. But like I said, man, everybody gets hurt. Ant just got hurt game playing, so it was just the fact that I was shooting the ball, and that's what I do most. So I was never really get into my rhythm again, and my team obviously needed me to tonight, and I didn't. So it's disappointing. I'm disappointed in myself for not being able to give them the right production that I know I can. So.
Does it feel like the kind of stinger that just with the 2 days off, you feel like you can get over?
I hope. Yeah. I hope for our team's sake. I hope for my team's sake that I can get it right. So.
Jamal, how are you going to be preparing? How are you going to be spending the next 3 days? And do you think you guys will be watching these games, or just forget about them and kind of start with a blank slate, so to speak? And
no, we got to watch it. Got to watch the games. Got to own it. We know we didn't play our best, but that's a sneak peek of what we're going to get Sunday, right? So I think everybody's being locked in and just owning the negativity, man. Like we played terrible. I played terrible. Own it, and let's use that to come out in front of home fans and play the right way. So we're gonna learn from that film for sure and be better.
Is there gonna be pressure or?
You gotta go. Thanks, Jamal. Appreciate you. No pressure, man. It comes down to one game and who's gonna play better that day. Thanks, Jamal.
I mean, we didn't come out with the right mentality. I think we thought we were, but we weren't. They came out and were very aggressive, and their backs were against the wall, and they played like it. So we definitely gotta come in next game, with the hit first mentality.
Let me ask you, does the final score really matter at this point? Does it matter if you lose by 45 or by 4?
Nah, it's 3-3. We can beat them, they can beat us. So it's whoever comes out Game 7 more prepared and more mentally ready.
Did they do anything differently, or was it more on your end?
I mean, they played a well-rounded game. They definitely adjusted some of their coverages on defense, and offensively they got some guys that played well for them. So they played really well all around. Got to give them credit.
What was Coach's message in the locker room when you guys met up?
Get home, get these 2 days of rest and recovery, and talk about what we need to adjust and be ready to go on Sunday.
Did that mirror Game 2, the same feelings you guys had after that game?
No, I mean it's different. Game 7, we just know we got to bring it, but I think we'll be prepared.
The core of this team has been involved in Game 7s before. You've won 2 of them. How different is a Game 7, both mentally and physically?
It's just basketball. We've proven we can beat them. They've proven they can beat us. So like I said, it's going to be a lot of energy in the building, but once the game settles down, it's whoever's the better team is going to win.
No opening statement.
Michael, when they made that 27-2 run in the first quarter, it seemed like you guys were fueling their break a little bit with some of the turnovers, but also just missing shots. How much did you feel like you guys weren't executing your offense sort of to the standard that you need to, and how much is just like, okay, we can make these shots in a Game 7, we can kind of handle this? It's just a little bit of a variance.
Well, yeah, to your point, we started off 9-2. They call a timeout. They go on a 29-5 run. And in that stretch, the two things that stood out to me were, one, the turnovers, to your point, which I said pregame is, you can't do that in this building with that crowd. Give them life, give them energy. And so our offense, the lack of value in the ball was problematic. And then the other thing that was really problematic in that first half, 11 offense rebounds for 15 points. I told the guys at halftime, I said, fellas, if I would have told you before the game that they'd be shooting 42 from the field and 30 from the three-point line, would you have taken it? And they all said, yeah. I says, well, the reason we're getting our ass kicked is because they're not taking care of the ball. You're not rebounding. And we're playing with no physicality and no toughness. And they hit us first, they hit us second, they hit us third. And so you give them credit. They did what they needed to do to keep this series alive and to bring it back to Denver for a Game 7. So a disappointing loss anytime you get down by 50 in a playoff game. That's never an enjoyable experience. But we have to go home and get back to playing the way we did, where we won 3 games in a row. And I have no doubt that we'll be ready to do that come Sunday.
Michael, how'd you feel about your team's offensive process once you guys did get down big in the first half? It felt like there were a lot of threes going up. Were you good with those looks for the most part, or would you like to have been a little bit more aggressive toward the rim?
Yeah, I don't know. I think at halftime we had 21 threes attempted, and we only made maybe 4 of them. And it's a fine line because obviously, as I predicted they would, they double-teamed Nikola. Obviously, after a 40-point outburst, they double-team him. So when they put 2 on the ball, you're going to generate some open looks from 3. But it's a fine line, Vinny, of, okay, yeah, we're generating good looks. And I felt early on we didn't make the good looks. And that kind of discouraged us and kind of took away our defensive intensity. We've been so much more aggressive the last 3 games and decisive and assertive the last 3 games than we were today. And I think not making shots kind of had a negative impact on just our overall disposition tonight, which can't be the case. When you are missing shots, you got to dig even deeper and give greater effort. But that just wasn't the case tonight. So we'll watch the film. We'll see what we can do better come Sunday and try to win a Game 7, another Game 7 for us.
Coach, not to pile on about the missed shots, but and you mentioned the rebounding. When they're open looks, but there's not as many rebounders or people near the glass, I guess how much is it, a chicken and an egg kind of deal there?
Give me the question again.
Well, I guess I'm saying they're taking open looks, but you had so many guys in the perimeter and almost nobody inside, which then leads to easy rebounds and leads to them going the other way. So is it almost like a false positive that those looks are that open with nobody underneath?
Well, obviously, going 7 of 36 from 3 and shooting 30 from the field is problematic in and of itself. Not making shots, not making open shots. We never, aside from the 9-2 start. Well, I guess to start I left Nikola in to start the second, realizing that this game was about to get away from us. So I'm going to leave him in the game, and we cut it to 11. And then they went on another big run, 13-0, which put it to 24. And then late in that second, I'm saying let's cut it to 14 by the half. Just kind of stay within striking distance. We get a stop. We try to throw a run out, a turnover. They score again. So now we're down, 17 or 19 at the half. But yeah, we can be a lot more. Instead of just all standing on the perimeter, we can be a lot more aggressive to the basket, not just settle for threes. And obviously, to your point, a 62 to 43 rebound margin. That is a 19 rebound differential. And that, to me, speaks volumes about the game and our approach.
Coach, similar to, for Game 5, you guys made Anthony see bodies. And, it seems like Minnesota kind of did the same with Nikola tonight. How did you guys, respond to that? And how much is this series coming down to, not the role players, but the others, performing really well?
Well, it always helps when the others, like people like to call our guys. No. I didn't take it as I understand that. I didn't take it in any negative way. Like for them, McDaniels tonight is by far our best game of the series. He played great. 21 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks. Ant's going to give you what Ant's going to give you, and their bench scored 23. Our bench scored 2. So. In Game 5, we were effective getting the ball out of his hands. Tonight, we weren't. And, you know, they knew it was coming, and they did a really good job of moving the ball and attacking behind it. And then with Nikola, obviously after the performance he put on, they said, hey, we're going to double team him. And we have to do a better job of spacing, reacting. And then the bottom line is if they're going to put 2 on the ball, we got to make them pay. And we didn't do that tonight. So they can just stay with that over and over and over again. And just like in Game 5, we put 2 on Ant, and they didn't make us pay. And it was effective. Tonight it wasn't. So the good thing is we'll go home, again, watch this film and understand there are going to be things that we can do differently from a game plan standpoint. But to me, the much bigger issue is we have to do a lot better job of being locked in and ready to play in a Game 7. And again, you know, those are the 2 greatest words in sports, Game 7. So hopefully our guys in front of an amazing crowd will be ready to go when we have the intangibles the way we've had them for the last 3 games prior to tonight.
One more. I just wanted to follow up on that. What is your experience in Game 7s, and what do you expect on Sunday? Just the unique nature of that game.
Well, our experience is pretty positive. So I'll leave it at that. Do your homework.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.